Is succeeding in the art world meant for you? That's today's question. It's a yes or no format. Hi, I'm Sunny, and I have 3 piles you can choose from. From left to right, it's pile 1, 2, and 3. So remember, if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video and then select the pile or piles of your choice when you're ready. So that being said, I will start with pile number 1. So keep in mind that I have 2 cards for each pile. And if it's 2 uprights, it's a yes. 2 reversals, it's a no, and if it's mixed, it's a maybe, and you can choose what more or less sounds relevant to your situation. So with that being said, sorry, I totally messed that up. Pile number 1, your choice of cards is 2 of Pentacles upright, followed by the 6 of Pentacles upright. So yes, if you decide to enter the art world, if you haven't, but I truthfully feel like you all dabbled already creatively, it is going to be successful. I mean, you can see from the 2 to 6 from the 2 to a 6 increase, it's like you're slowly building up like your clientele, you're building up your efforts, and you're saving, and you're putting yourself, like, it's gonna be a lot of work, I feel, regardless. So yes, the potential for increase of money and stability, and like you having a place and finding a place for yourself, it's there, but it's gonna be for you to decide how much or how fast you want to speed that process up. I think it's gonna take you a while regardless, because it's pentacle energy. It's not gonna be given to you. It's not gonna be handed to you like right off the bat. So I do think it may require for you to invest in all your material, in your products, in your like advertising, or like just word of mouth, or just constantly like getting up, for example, and bringing your work to like the exhibits that you have to show to showcase your work, or if you can sell in like the art markets and stuff like that. Like, it's time consuming, but it's doable. So yes, the potential's there. It's just a matter of like you realizing it's going to be slow and steady, but it's there. But it does take a lot of effort from your part, like financially, and also like time consuming, and like realizing that it's not always going to be in the up and up. Like, it's all about you wanting to not push yourself too hard, but finding a good steady pace. So pacing yourself, mostly also because you might have to do a little bit of everything, like finding whatever clicks with this 2 of Pentacles, and with this 3, why did I say 3? 6 of Pentacles. I think you just have to make business with people, like adjust your pricing. Like, so like, let's say you're someone that makes bracelets, and you're like, well, I'm making these bracelets and I sell them for like $15. You're gonna have to work with maybe like, I don't know, is bartering the right word to say? Like, yeah, like someone's interested, but they wanna, not that they have to lowball you that bad, like I'm just paying $2, but like they're like, well, this is what I have, like I have like $13, and you're just like, can you raise it to like $13.50 or $14? Like, you're working with them, in that sense. Like, I think you're making connections, like, or maybe you're adjusting your prices, but you are building like a lifelong client, right? Or who's long-term client is a better word of saying it, so that they come back and like consistently buy from your store. So it's in that way where, like, sure, you probably adjust prices, but it's for the long term, because you know that this person's gonna obviously come back and like purchase again. Or you kind of maybe give good deals to people who are like repeat buyers, because you already know them. So it's one of those things where you're gonna have like trial and error, but it's like testing the waters, mostly to see what kind of clicks, what hits, what's a miss, mostly. And then also it's like for practicality, it's like for you to maybe take inventory better, or you have like better sales, and also getting to know the people that you are selling to better. Like you're adjusting probably also to the economy, so it's like, sure, sometimes it's low, but you know there's always sales. So it's like one of those things where, you know, like you're building up your monetary finances because you know how to organize yourself and like really put everything into practice. So yeah, you'll succeed, but it's gonna be hard work. So it's not gonna be something that you'll notice within a year or two. It's like no. It's like years and years. You'll notice. It's just steady work. So thank you, pile 1. I think I took too long on that one. Pile number 2, you guys have the Judgment card reversed and the 4 of Swords upright. So pile number 2. This would be a mixed response because I did say, in case you skipped, I did say that if you guys got a reversal, and an upright, it's a mixed response. So like that could be a yes for some, it could be a no for some others, but it could also be maybe, like, but probably not the way you think it's going to be. So you adjust that to your situation. But with this, it's like you either judge yourself too harshly, like you might have a hard time trying to like give any excuse my voice, give anything less than perfection to the people you're selling to. So maybe that's what's stalling you. My voice was totally fine for pile 1. So like I was saying, I think that you could be very critical of yourself, where it's like you don't want to put anything out there until you feel that it's right. But like not everything people do is perfection. I mean, even companies, when you've bought, I know you've had this issue because I know it's happened to me, where you know that there's like a constant flow of a certain item. Let's say like you're buying a headband and the headband looks really cute, and you know you've seen pictures and it looks really cute and stuff, but somehow you get a faulty item and it's like broken, or it's missing a piece, or it's like unraveling, or something like there's always something, right? So just because there was like one little thing that happened that was bad doesn't mean the rest of the batch is bad, right? It could be just like a one-off. So you could just like ask for a replacement, you know, or get your money back. Not an issue, right? So it's one of those things where you have to be less critical of yourself if something doesn't, quote unquote, like seem perfect. I think as long as you have great customer service, it should apply, because like 4 of Swords is like you taking, it is something that's like you're recovering and taking downtime, and like maybe having something like, maybe for example in this case, taking your time to really put that stuff out there, or like, you know, doing it because it's fun and not because it's overwhelmingly like stressful to you and like it feels like a job, or you're doing it when like no one else is looking and it's like just yourself. I think that you should be okay with the idea that sorry, I think you should be okay with the idea that it's not going to be always perfect. It's going to be okay. Don't stress yourself because of that. But I do think it's like you're doing something creatively because it's relaxing on your own. So maybe you're doing baked goods, for example, or you're doing like good commerce, like just contracts and stuff like that, or just you being able to sell things, or maybe pre-existing things. But it, did you guys hear that? I thought there was like a knock. Anyways, I got super distracted. That was so trippy. So back to what I was saying. So I do think that you're gonna be someone that's gonna be good at selling things. It's just not stressing yourself out, not feeling like maybe you're dealing with a lot of bad customers perhaps, or like a lot of people who aren't happy. Like, it's okay. Things happen. Like, sometimes the early years, right, or the early like selling and purchasing of things aren't great, but it's like, okay, you learn to perfect your technique, but it's not something you're going to stress yourself over. It's like you are going to learn to have fun with it, enjoy the ride, right? Like the destiny, the journey, not the destination. But yeah, I just think for this pile, it's a mixed bag of like, yes, you can be successful, and so long as you're not overwhelming yourself or like causing yourself to need constant breaks. Like, sorry guys, like, I mean, totally okay, it happens to us all. Like, we need off time to relax, right? But knowing when to put a pause, not quitting, but just put a pause on it until the next day, right? So your body is not taking the heat, because I think your body reacts it's very sensitive, I think, or it's very reactive to your environment. And if you have high levels of cortisol, it just starts going off, right? So learning to pace yourself, when to say no, cutting off the BS. Like, you don't need to do extra things that aren't necessary, because it's just you. So think about stuff like that. I just feel like you're overly critical of the things that you have to do, or maybe you have OCD tendencies, and that's why it's like really bad, where you just want to do everything your way and perfect it, but like don't drive yourself mad to the point of like exhaustion. So yes, it's possible. It's just moderation is key. Learning to have better communication with people too. Having good client support, basically, like remedying issues fast. That's going to be some helpful tips for you. So thank you, pal number 2. Remember, people will praise your product so long as you're not too critical of yourself, and like learn from your mistakes. It's okay. Not everyone's going to be happy, but the people that are going to be happy are going to be more than happy to come back and purchase your things. So next, pile number 3, you guys have the High Priestess upright and the Queen of Wands reverse. So this is a maybe, because in case you missed out on the intro, I said that it's a yes or no. 2 reversals, it's a no. 2 uprights, it's a yes. 1 of each is a mixed answer, so it's a maybe. So it could be maybe, but just not the way you think, right? So with this one, I think you're a very intuitive person. Maybe you're the kind of person that in the creative field is offering your artistic talents in like in an occult way, right? So maybe you could be the person who's like, I mean, we've all seen these I don't think I've ever purchased it, but I've come across them. I think it was like years ago when I was like a frequent Etsy buyer. Or there's people who can like draw up your like your future spouse or something, or like your future partner or something like that. Like extremely detailed, right? I don't know if it's true. I'm assuming it's all like people who, I mean, it's super selective. I feel that like I don't know. I kind of like feel that it's like sort of like AI generated images, right? I'm assuming. I don't know, because like just because you have the talent in occult practices doesn't mean you have the talent to draw. Or sometimes it can be. It's not always all the time, but like I'm like, there's a lot of people who are like, you know, advertising and stuff. But I've also, you know what? I've also seen it on like YouTube ads too, where they're like, we can draw like your, but I think it's like AI generated and stuff. But basically, long story short, is like maybe you know how to mix these things, right? It's like you're a very intuitive person, or maybe you're, I guess a good way, because this is also like diving deep into something, and maybe you dive deep into the obscure art world, in the sense of like, well, what if you dive deep into the realms of like, not everybody's successful, right? Sometimes it's a little bit more like discerning in that sense of like, oh, you have a good eye for that, where we just know like, well, this doesn't seem like a successful enterprise to follow through. Like you're good at that maybe, or you're good at like weeding out things and like teaching people how to have a discerning eye, of like, guys, this isn't like the like example. This Etsy seller is not doesn't have to be Etsy, by the way, but like this is like a fraud, or like, please don't waste your money here. Like there's these other accounts and like you're helping a better cause, or you're like, these are credible sources and stuff like that. Like I think you have that discernment, or like that intuitive feeling of like having your nose on the right location, right? But this Queen of Wands reverse is also like, I wonder if it's like you being upset, like maybe it's like repressed emotions, repressed anger, right? Or like not having that inner fire. Like it just feels like maybe it could be manipulated, or like you deal with that, like women, very temperamental women too. Maybe your business, like creative fields, you maybe are focused more on like women audiences. That could be it. And like an artistic, and I feel like it could be successful. It's just if you learn how to handle, have better customer care, maybe perhaps when people are like giving you like misguided aggression, sure, it could be successful. Or like you not being triggered, and like maybe you're the person who's like, hey, if you're gonna dish it, you better take it. I do think you probably have a snappiness to you. Yeah, I think it's successful in that sense, but it's weary, it's weary, it's like it wanes, it makes you tired, and it's exhausting to constantly have to battle it out, or like put people in place, or you wanting to say a whole lot perhaps, but you can't. So maybe silence is your weapon too, perhaps. You're like, you know what, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Take the high road. But yeah, sure, it could be successful if you just learn to be more confident in your responses, and like your follow through with your plans, and like stick to like your intuition and like your gut feeling, like what feels like it's productive, and like what's the right path that seems like, oh, this is like my calling, like creatively. But learning that competition is gonna be there. But you might also deal with like, maybe it's like a very competitive feminine field in the creative space, but I also think maybe you're someone that's good at helping perhaps open that path for other females. It's just that maybe you take the brunt. Yeah, because it's this Queen of Wands to reverse. It's like she's not entirely happy about that. Maybe it's like maybe, and if you don't think it's like necessarily feeling that are repressed and upset, it could also be like the opposite, which is like melancholy, or maybe it stems from like you created this path for yourself because you felt not great about yourself, right? You had low confidence, or you felt like feces, basically. But yeah, or maybe you just felt very sad for whatever reason. But yeah, I think that you grow your spiritual gifts perhaps also through this path, or you express yourself very well with that it feels like it's a path that's meant for you creatively, artistically, which is great. So yeah, I think that the maybe is like, should you want it, it's there. It's just that you have to put a lot of willpower and endurance, and like you fighting for what feels like is your calling, right? Like, don't let the first obstacle like deplore you from still achieving your goal, right? So that could be it. But following your intuition, you gain more confidence, you believe in yourself, right? So believing the dream. But yeah, this feel very witchy too. Maybe you are, oh, you know what, you could be someone that sells items, like, I guess you can say like magical items. Like you're someone that provides like you're the supplier, is a better word of saying it. Like you're someone that provides the herbs, um, bottles perhaps, stones, threads, um, incense, jewelry, clothing, drapery, things like that. You could be someone that opens up their own little cute supply store, basically for magic, right? For stuff like that. I keep thinking of that early example of the Etsy's, like, I'll draw your husband, I'll draw your wife. I do think there's talented people out there. I just feel like not everyone, because like they also put like crazy amounts of like money for these things. So it's like I probably think it's like computer generated things, like people like the computer basically pretending to be a person, right? Or scammers. But there are talented people. It's just that it's kind of difficult sometimes to discern, right, when you're buying online. For many websites too, it's like, oof, you gotta do your homework, or you gotta like really feel like you're someone that's good with the discerning, right? Like finding the best credible sources to like purchase from, or like have a guarantee of like having your money back if you feel like the product or service isn't up to par. So yeah, I think the possibility is there if you play everything right, and like not try to manipulate people, right, to like buy your services and stuff, but like basically doing things right, above water. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. You've stuck to the very end. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps me out with my channel and its growth, and I'll see you in a different video. So bye everybody, have a lovely day.